What's good, man? It's OG Drip, man. This channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And let's get deep, man. Let's talk about the little things that be going on, right? When it comes down to you looking at how the world is put and how they try to perceive it out to be, it can be confusing at times, right? And it can try to pay like self-contradictions and things like that, especially when you're dealing with people with the religion mindset. And for further that, what I mean by that is occults as well. So there's nothing missed out. It's just like the mind that they give you. It's like, okay, you're really supposed to have a mind to yourself and understanding what's going on, then you'll be able to receive these certain messages. But instead, we want to control your mind, and we're going to be the ones that give you these certain messages for you to output into the world. So it's like they're giving you a sixth dimension. You feel what I'm saying? So anyways, when they get down to that, and it follows on behind it where they're giving you a thought or something to feel about and so forth, man. But the main thing I wanted to get to was like, when it comes down to this stuff, you will see others, right, where they'll try to give them a statue, just like how you got the algorithm, right, where a YouTuber may feel like they're bigger than a person or feel like the stuff they're talking about is I'm gonna say more consumable, right? And in a sense, it's right? Consumable, because a lot of people like to consume bullshit. Because if you think about it, what we mainly off of is bullshit. Each religion got their own little lies and stuff, but some people feel comfortable with placing themselves under these lies, especially when you be like, yo, Jesus was black, man. Oh, Lord, they not a man and still empowered. Then when you throw one out like, oh, God really is a black woman. Now you got these people feeling empowered to the fact that now they don't even realize they're playing a mind game with themselves to where they're actually beefing with them own selves, because at the end of the day, that is the importance to it, for you to recognize who you is. Even in the beginning, even in the Bible, it got plenty of scriptures explaining about how God basically recognized who he was. Like, for example, in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5 through 7, right? Before I formed in the belly, out the gate. I don't understand what people go through. I don't understand why they try to metaphor it or anything like that. But something just flew on me, y'all. God darn, I don't know what it is. But anyways, I don't understand where they get lost from. Out the gate, it said, before I formed in the belly. So we all know when we look at things, shapes and all that, these is forms. So if you're thinking about it, it's saying before I formed. This letting you know this already a thought before being inside a body. So even if you want to look at it like saying, oh, it was from space, or you want to look at it actually saying you were someone else, somewhere else, waiting for something to line up for you to come into this world. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes down to that, a lot of these scriptures don't want to bring it to you like that. They'll make it seem like God came down as a human, but not as in all of us internally. Like, you get what I'm saying? They try to make stuff that's single, plural, stuff that's plural, single, and they the one that come up with these words at the end of the day, just so they can have more power or more social status above things. Now, when it comes down to that, that's the same thing when it comes down to you looking at certain things. Like, right, where your pastor may have more than you, but he's way more spiritually lost. Where these people may have more than you in a sense, or out the gate, besides before you start working for it. And when you get it in God's way, we're going to break that down too, but it get way deeper. But anyways, this is the confusing part, right? Because you got to ask these people, if this person appeared to be blessed and this person is out here preaching the wrong words and things like that, that is not what God said. That is what man told you God said and things like that. You got to think, who is these people truly being blessed from? Who is it being blessed by? Is they actually being blessed to a sense? You see what I'm saying? So you got to watch out, because at the end of the day, you know how they make it seem like in the Bible how, they be like, yo, the devil, this and that, devil, and the devil will make it look good for you and things like that. This is what they was talking about. This is like dressing the shit up to making it look like, oh, he is appeared to be blessed to the world, so it appeared like he's doing what he's supposed to do, because everything on this earth is falling in line under how he wanted. But see, that is the reason why these people have an algorithm. These people, like, when I see about algorithm, this is before the YouTube thing even came. This is about when someone is trying to push something and they're not owned by a company or something. And these people like, nah, you're not owned by one of our companies that will make money or have some type of influence over what you're doing. So therefore, we don't want to deal with it. You feel me? So when it comes down to that, y'all got to understand the power that these people has come with influence. For you to be like, yo, they got to be doing something right for their life to be going right. But that's the tricky part to it, right? Where it's some people that they avoid lessons. So they let you know they're scared of the Father of God, right? As in they don't want to go through nothing extreme, to where the fact is like damn that they don't want to go through nothing at all at the same time, but want everything that someone else got. So this is another tactic that they just use on you to stop you and counter your blessings against yourself. So when it comes down to you people, and the main thing the reason why I wanted to break this down, because, as being in spiritual, it's very hard to vent to others. You can understand what others going through, but others can't really understand you no more. You kind of like an alien, right? You kind of just like, you're there. They know you there, but they don't know what you're going to do, right? You start becoming more with God. You start becoming more mysterious, and things start happening for you, and you just start, it start being the correct way of going about it, right? Because this is the whole gimmick of what they got going. So they like, yo, if you do what we tell you to do, we will make sure you have it, right? Where these same people can be the same ones take it away from you. See, when God give it to you or God come for you, it don't matter how it's coming, bro. Because when it comes in the power of God, it don't matter if you was humble. It don't matter if you was getting trumbled. It don't matter if you was mad aggressive. It don't matter. When this power come, it's just what it is. That is what it is power. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, it don't matter how much you try to hate on them, no matter how much you try to pull this down. If God want this person to have that, if God want this possibility to happen, it's going to happen, right? Where these people have them play so much of witchcraftery, so much of trickery, you know what I'm saying, where they could make a person feel like, yo, God is for you. That's why when you died, you even seen God and the image that they gave you, though. You feel what I'm saying? So it get deep to the point that these people, they brainwash it so good until it's like a stain on the white clothes. It's like no matter how many times you wash it, you can still see that stain there, right? Where it's like no matter how many times they try to get themselves out of this box thinking and try to reach out further, it's like they get sucked back into gravity. It's like gravity pulling them back, right? So this is another thing, right? When I be thinking about space, NASA, the way they come up with the things they come up with these things because it's just like it is. They could go in space, but can't go through space or outer space. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to like the first layer of what is actual space. And what I'm saying by that is not talking about the actual physical. I'm talking about when it comes down to them having a mind for something. See, you can have a mind for it. You could be smart as hell. You could be intelligent as hell. But that doesn't mean that you actually know what the unknown is. And this is where I say that scientists give things categories, give things tabs, and give things, basically colonizing it in a different way, right? To where they basically being the one that put the tab on it. So they could say, this how this worked, and if you do this and do that. So basically, once again, they're trying to control the powers, but do through a mind trick, right? Where if you accept me to being more better than you, that's your fault. See, and that's another thing that play out. So basically, you're never better than the person that's in charge. Like, no matter what your ideal is, it never outweighs the person that's in charge of it. And 9 times out of 10, the person that's in charge is riding off their ego. Even if they didn't get appointed by a church, when they felt like they was right about something, they just kept it going. But they don't understand they got trapped in the 4th, 5th dimension. They don't understand that, right? They don't even understand the fact that when you was born in this earth, you already knew. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just breaking down the Jeremiah thing. Before you already was here, if you get back spiritual, you remind yourself of who you is. So I'm not saying you're going to remind yourself or remember your body. But I'm going to tell you this. You're going to remember the ways you move, right? Because it's going to reflect on you. Right? Where you might see me and other spiritual people like, well, they seem like they might not be the type to be homeless or nothing like that. Listen, we don't have those times in our life where we don't want that to go back, right? Where we done experienced this. Whether the experience was super harsh, because y'all got to understand when it comes with Jupiter power, which is how I like to say extreme lessons, harshness, anything like that comes into it. And this is part of your living. You get what I'm saying? So people want to live life without actually learning lessons, right? But want to just somehow ride on the wave, but not actually riding on that wave, which is what we call emotions and thoughts and all of that stuff that's keeping this stuff boiled up and keeping it going, right? They don't want to see the pot somewhere. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, like, I don't want to be in boiling water at all. So we just try to skip past it. And that's the thing. See, you got people like Satanists where they're skipping past it on purpose to come back. So they let you know they're scared of God, they're scared of heaven, and their own type of ways. So if you want to look at it like that, they have fear of themselves, right? Where they don't want the best them to actually come out, where they might not even accept them. And a lot of people will have to understand that. Because I know when people start getting spiritual, right, y'all start going through a thing where you start making everything out to be spiritual. Even a person that's not spiritual, they could just be saying the right words. And here you go, like, oh, Lord, they know about numerology. They know about this and that. And then they use it in the wrong sense. Of where when they have to come back to draw the board, it don't even make sense out of what they're trying to make out of, right? Where if you could say that 1 is the beginning, right, of the 1, right? So it's saying now if you was to put 2 tallies, that'd be 2. So this one represents the independency. This one represents masculine energy. This one, and they can't understand that, right? Where they're trying to make everything out of numbers, right? Where you have spiritual people that's even lost, right? Where they'll have you doing life paths, numbers, and all this and that, and the way that they're explaining it is wrong, but it sound correct to you if you're super spiritual, because you know, like, throughout our life, everybody got different level of difficulties. People got things that they have to go through. Like I was just saying, that's what make you who you is today, right? Where you realize, like, damn, I done been through those lives before. So that's why people like me is on the internet, to help you remember who you are. So then you can grab the camera, you can start talking. You're gonna be able to help other people remember who they is better than probably a person that been doing this longer than you. See, it comes down to that too, right? Where they'll see that you have a special superpower and use it against you. I have Mercury and Virgo, bro. It'll be so easy for me to get in front of the world for overall understanding, for the ghetto to be able to, the nerds, the everything, the freaks, the weirdos, for everybody to be able to grasp and understand what I'm saying. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to go along with that Martian, because y'all got to remember, when it comes down to this, it's God duties and responsibilities. So some people do not even want to be responsible about the stuff on earth, and they feel like the responsibilities that they have on earth is more important than God's work. That's why I said, let me take a break out, man. Let me get a video to my people, because I got to put in this work. Because if I don't, and I don't talk to us, I don't know if you watching anybody else. I don't know none of that. So I have to treat it like, yo, what if they're not able to actually get this spiritual shit when they need it, and we going through these times, right? It's like me giving you a little bit of energy for you to throw a spirit ball, and now, due to me not even giving you that energy, or y'all giving it back, see what I'm saying? It works like that, right? It's like an equal balance. It's like how you be seeing a little thing and it be shooting the water up, and somehow it come right back around and it stay even. Kind of like how a waterfall is, right? Where we able to express our emotions to each other and keep it in material, which is not letting it overflow nowhere, and letting it come down and make different cutoffs. Like, okay, this probably pulled me down, but I threw some rocks and contained it. Okay, now it flowed off a little bit, but this overflow is what I needed to push to gain more flow to getting it going where I'm trying to get to. So by me materializing this, I'm able to move better. You feel what I'm saying? I'm able to, the more dips in the water, the more levels of dropping things. And what I mean by that is, like, technically holding that emotion, you ain't got to hold it so tight no more, right? From the high line, you just look at it like a waterfall, right? Where something is coming down and it's getting poured and it's running back through, where it's back through over your head, where we trying to keep the water underneath, where the rocks, it just seems like it just go inside a pond and don't go too much further. But anyways, bro, that's just another way of breaking down, like, allegory of how you want to use alchemy to explain something, right? Where if you wanted to explain somebody to keep themselves contained, which is what these people don't understand. So that instead of them doing that, they rather cast stones and then start prejudging people, then telling the person basically, you a demon and all this and that, bro. But everybody has a little thing they have to fight. And then at the end of the day, we all have the ability to use mental alchemy to get the things that we need done. Elemental magic and all that is real, you guys. That is what's being used on people. So if you look at it, that's just what it is. And if you look at the planets, instead of them being able to be used as gods, you know what I'm saying, or however they want to put it, which they try to, once again, if you believe in it that way, they done got you again, because they got you believing God is some type of thing. See? Then they try to make it seem like God is over there, like God is in some type of place. So you got to pay attention to how tricky it gets, because when you start saying it yourself, say if you born in a different religion than me, right? I grew up in a Christian religion, right? Black religion. Y'all already know how that go, right? So if you grew up, let's say as a Hindu, the way that you'll be coming from it will be a different way. But at the end of the day, we would end up getting the same answer if you was to keep your mind open, keep yourself out of the feelings and emotions where they're coming from, right? Where you may explain, for example, you may explain something being personal, and I might explain it as in it being like a self-awareness check, right? So it's kind of like it's the same thing, but it's just worded different. And that's all I'm trying to say when they get out of these religions. If these people was to open their mind, they'll start being able to see where a little bit of truth comes from all the religions, where it's actually truth from. But you can't do that when you can't think independency on your own. So which goes all the way back to why your life is not even on the right track, aka you're not even on the right wheel. way somewhere else, driving and stuff with the wrong size tires on your little automobile, on your UFO, aka your mind. So the places you going, there's always something wrong with it. You feel me? Where when God do things, man, it's beautiful at the end of it. God is good, God is great all the time. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, I just wanted to break that down. I want to get to breaking down a whole bunch of other stuff, man, just to have these spiritual talks with people, man. But y'all, man, we gotta have each other, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, hit the share as well, share the video, because at the end of the day, I'm pushing me. I ain't got Nike, I ain't got Sony, I ain't got Monster Energy, I ain't got AT&T, I ain't got none of these niggas up here pushing me, no matter if you want to see me or not coming across your TV. So at the end of the day, make it be made, and y'all, teamwork make the dream work. Spread the word, man. Let's get up out of here. OG Drill.